So today we're working on it's a countertop to hold a sink, almost like in a bathroom. They want 1.5" subtop. We cut 2 3/4 inch. We'll scuff it up, wood glue it on. But they basically just needed, it's for a vessel sink. And now we're gonna move and cut the actual metal top sheet for it, as well as just kind of basically glove over the top of it. And it'll have a little bit of overhang, weld it all together, set it right on top, and then the sink should just fit right in. So this is actually an Omax 1530 water jet. It's basically a water jet cutter. It cuts any type of material, but it basically uses high pressure water and mixes in a set amount of calculated abrasive in order to get through up to 12 inches of stuff on this one. This one averages around 45,000 PSI for what we generally cut, being the metal, but it can shift down depending on the different densities of the material we're going for. So this little guy is the abrasive hopper that it will end up using. Like as it cuts, this will go down, and this big old air line ends up connecting to this hopper that is filled like up to here with abrasive. And as this goes down, we have to adjust the air pressure less or more to basically balance the amount of pressure into the air line so that it refills that as it cuts. Too much makes a huge mess. It just starts blowing air and abrasive everywhere. Too little, then it stops getting abrasive in the jet stream, and then it just shoots water everywhere. So that's just one of the things to keep an eye on. If you care about the rust, you got to get to it quick. So what we're looking at here is the back needed to fit flush against the wall. So it's cut like that. And then the actual sides that get the lip are all offset 1/4 inch all the way around. Because when we go to weld the actual lips on, the welds take up about 1/4 inch, roughly, generally. So these sides going forward will just be welded onto the side. Essentially, we don't need a sinkhole because they want to use a vessel sink. So they gave us the measurements of where they would actually want the water piping to come up through it into the sink. And then we got 1.5" sides here to kind of cover the 2 3/4 inch wood ones they'd like. This one in particular, basically what we'll do is we'll rough it up with a sander, not necessary, but helpful. And then we'll bring it next door to get it powder coated. And most of our powder coats we use are rated for exterior durability. General wear and tear, they're rated for about 20 years of use for actual good seal. So in this case, if it was outside and had the risk of hail or anything, I would suggest a durable clear coat over the top of it. But being that it's inside for just a sink, it will be rated for general use, actual watertight seams and seals for the actual powder. Where they come into their own generally is one finish. People really like to be able to choose the different color finishes. Powder specifically, you can do basically anything under the sun. And then additionally, we can do the translucent grinds that people tend to really like. So there's a few ways to do powder. You can do jet black. There's some marble textured ones, textured ones, clear with translucents. Color's a big one. And then to follow up on color, it's really good for replacements or capping existing countertops. Because metal in its nature is generally thin and just on top of something, we can fairly easily just go out, measure an existing countertop, template around it, and basically for generally much cheaper than doing a whole new countertop, we can basically just put another layer of 0.1 inches over the entire countertop, give it a whole new look and basically a new lease on life, as opposed to tearing up an existing one and replacing it with any number of materials that are generally thicker. So you don't need a new countertop. We can just basically revitalize an existing